Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is about maintenance. I just wanted to bring you guys along and show you the maintenance that I did in the garden the last week or last few days. It was really hot, so I couldn't get a lot done, but I think I did a pretty good job in getting some of the maintenance done. There was a really big to-do list, and I just wanted to show you guys what I did, a couple of DIY projects, and maybe you could learn something, or perhaps you have a better way of doing it or suggest a better way of doing it. Then you can comment in the comment section. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. If you hit the bell, you can get notifications every time there's new content. And besides that, it will really help me grow my channel and reach the goals that I have for my channel. So let's get started. So I wanted to start with this DIY trellis that I have set up for the cucumbers. As you can see, they are getting pretty tall and they are vining really quickly. And since I got the pole beans put in over here, I kind of changed my mind about having the cucumbers travel all the way down the fence. So what I did was I connected this one here, and it has like a Y at the top, and I just connected it with some of the twisty tie, the garden twisty ties. But I ran out of twine, so I went ahead and I used some of this to connect it, and then I also connected it to the trellis that I had already had in place. So that was like an extra, sturdy. And then I did another one on this side with the twisty ties, and I'll probably go back over it with some twine because I did go get some more. And then what I did was I just set a branch across the top. Okay, and what I did was I had some of this garden fence left over that is just kind of curled up. I don't know if you can see it across there. They're just there. They're just, I brought it from when we moved, and I very seldom use it, but I just cut a piece off, a panel, I guess you could call it, and I tied it up there with the twisty ties, and then I tied the twine that I had left from the branch to each one of the plants. So if you see here, I've got them tied loosely, and that way these can go up the twine and then over and go down, hopefully go down. Plants usually don't trellis downwards, but if I train it and come out here every day, I'm sure I could get it done. Another thing I did was I got in here and I pruned all the bottoms of these cucumbers because I'm not going to be able to get in there, and I don't want any issues with powdery mildew. So I went ahead and pruned all the way, I guess you could say the bottom 2 feet, maybe less than that, but yeah, I wanted to go ahead and get that done so that I don't have any issues. And we've got some cucumbers coming on, a couple of different spots. Hopefully they don't come out looking crazy. So that was that. And then when I thought about it, my pole beans are going to start, they're already starting to climb on the, poles that I have in there. But then once they reach the top, I was going to have them come to the fence. Again, I'm like, this fence is kind of short and I really would like them to grow up a little further. So I went ahead and I extended and put another one of these branches in. That's right in front of the sun there. I went ahead and connected it to the fence, and then I put another branch across the top, and just went ahead and tied those 3 strings there, and then to the tops of the supports that they are already climbing. These 2 beans here are both climbing this one bamboo pole, and then those 2 have 2 separate supports up. So that was that. So that I got that put in place. And let's see what else I got done. I went ahead and I pruned all of my straight 8 cucumbers, and I do have more trellising to do with that. I was going to try to find another branch that looks like that and maybe connect it right down here, and then just go ahead and keep with the same system that I got going on there, and just keep going across. But we'll see how that works out. Right now I got this shelf here for the plants to climb, the 2 that are in the front there, and then once they get to the fence, then they'll climb the fence. The 2 that are closest to the fence I have already trained, and they are already climbing the fence. So I do still have to put in a bigger trellis system for that. Then I came down here to the tomatoes, and I tied up all the tomatoes to their corresponding places, their stakes, the ones that I had already had in. I went ahead and pruned them and then tied them up, gave them some more security there. And then I put in this pole, or stake, I guess you could call it. I put that in because I have some indeterminate tomatoes in here that are going to get pretty tall. And if you don't know the difference between indeterminate and determinate tomatoes, I will have a clip, 2-minute clip, that I'll be doing on that. So stay tuned for that. I still have to get these tomatoes in here. That's what I'm going to do over here. And then I came over here to the raspberry, and I put in that branch there for added support, because the raspberry is getting really tall and it has really superseded the cage, the tomato cage that I had put in there. And the garden stake, it's already past the garden stake. So I figured, well, it's time to get a little bit of a taller system put in there for some more support. So I did that. Watermelons are doing great. They are really taking off. I gave them a dose of that banana tea the last time I fertilized, and they are just taking off. I got so many fruits on there. I hope they all pollinate, but we'll find out, I guess, soon enough. I also went ahead and used my the stakes that I got, the spikes that I got off of Amazon. I did a video on those, and I went ahead this morning and put those in. So I'm gonna see how long it takes for those to empty, but from what it looks like it's a really nice slow release, because that, like I said, I did this morning about 11 o'clock or so, and it is doing really well with the slow release in the water. So that was an awesome find, and like I said, a game changer for me. So if you haven't watched that video, I have a link in that video for those spikes. And basically just use 2-liter bottles, or even just regular bottles like I put in down here. I put in the regular, just the regular single serve bottles. So I got those in the ground for these tomatoes here, because I think what's happening over here is they are pretty stunted because they don't get enough water the way these other ones do. These other ones, see, I've got them mulched, and I just feel like these container ones hold more water than this shallow bed here. But we'll see. I got these ones in, and we got the slow release there. So I'm excited about those. I am so excited about those. I hand water my garden with rainwater. So yeah, see my barrel over there? Yeah, that's what I got for watering. And I've got one watering can, and I've got one rain barrel. And so let's talk about the bad bugs I've seen. And forgive me, but I'm trying to get a good enough angle so that you guys don't have all this brightness in the background. I got an umbrella up because, let me tell you, my garden has no shade, so it is hot out here. Anyhow, when I was out here this morning, I saw a Japanese beetle on my raspberries, and I saw a squash bug flying around my cucumbers. I think that was it. Oh, and I also seen some aphids on a collard green plant. So I was gonna come right out with the neem oil spray, but then by the time I got out here and assessed the area, which you always want to do, you always want to look for pollinators, because you don't want to spray any kind of insecticide, whether it's organic or not, or you know, any kind of natural anything, because it will hurt your pollinators. So I saw some pollinators out here. I saw the dragonflies out here. I saw some bees out here. I even saw a couple of wasps. So I said, you know what, I'm not going to spray right now. I will wait till later on, and then I'll come back out. So this evening I plan on coming back out with the neem oil, because that's the last thing I want is squash bugs and Japanese beetles taking out my crops. So some other things that I got done was some weeding. You got to stay on top of the weeding, and I didn't. Like I said, it was so hot these past, not even hot, but just humid. It was so humid these past few days, and I really was trying to come out, and I really was trying to get some things done, but it was just really hard. So some of the weeding got out of control, especially with all the rain that we had. So I was like behind on the weeding, and what happens is the weeds will set roots around your plants. So when you're trying to pull those weeds out, sometimes you can damage the roots around your plants, and I don't want to risk damaging any of the roots around any of my plants. So I want to try to stay on top of the weeding if I can. Plus, weeds compete for nutrients and water, and I don't need any competition. I don't need any competition for that kind of stuff with the plants. While I was out here, I was pruning. Like I showed you, I pruned all of those tomatoes up. Let's go take a look at those tomatoes. All right, so I showed you the back side. Now this is the front side. I got in here, and I got that one tied up, and I got this one tied up because they were kind of just like leaning towards each other, and not really supported much. So I went ahead and got this one supported here, and I got that one supported over there and on the fence. These are celebrity tomatoes, so they are determinate tomatoes, but they're kind of bushy, so I need them, they're like a bushy variety. I need them to be separated so they have room to bush out. These ones here are all super bush tomatoes. There's 3 in the back and 2 in the front. That's all super bush, so they are going to bush out as well. And I got them all tied up and pruned all the way up, you know, to where the Y is, and got those pruned up nicely so it can let all that airflow in, pollinators can get in. See that one in the back, that super bush, got that all pruned up. And I wasn't pruning the suckers on those. I was pretty much just pruning just extra foliage that was just overlapping and just in the way. So I didn't take out any suckers. I don't mind the suckers. They're bush plants and they're determinate varieties, so suckers are okay with me. Now these 2 on the end are my indeterminate varieties, and like I mentioned before, if you don't know the difference between determinate and indeterminate, I am going to do a 2-minute clip on that, so stay tuned for that. But these are my indeterminates, and I'm going to support those with the high stake that I just put in there. These have all been pruned up as well. And then one thing I did want to show you guys was my pepper plant and how well it's doing since I gave it that dose of Epsom salt. How it's all green now. Before it was yellow, and it was the only one doing that, so I went ahead and treated it. Look at these aphids eating on my bean plants. So yeah, I really need to come out with a neem oil. But anyway, the pepper plant here is doing really well after I treated it with that Epsom salt, and that's really the only thing Epsom salt is good for. What else did I told you about the pests. I told you guys about the pruning and the staking and the watering. Let's see, what other maintenance did I have on the list? Oh, don't forget to harvest. You want to make sure that you're harvesting your veggies. Don't leave them out to go to seed, otherwise your plant will have mixed signals and it will try to stop producing. Look at this here. Look at that. Yeah. I need to come out here and spray. I need to come out and spray. I harvested all the radishes that were here, and I don't know if I'm gonna put anything in there. I want to put those watermelon radishes in there, so I'm probably gonna try that. But I did have some thoughts on moving the patty pan from over here. I had a couple of thoughts about moving those patty pan out of there because those are going to get pretty big, and there's 2 in this pot here, so I'm thinking I will probably put those into bigger buckets. So that's on the to-do list. If you don't stay on top of it, your watermelon will take over. So that's why I'm training them up. These are the other tomato stakes, poles, supports that I put in. I got this umbrella up, so I'll put a picture in the screen for you to see it. But on the back there, I have Sweet Million tomatoes, and they need a lot of space. If you can see all those little tomatoes coming on back there, they are really coming on. So I figured, well, it's time to get some supports in place because those are indeterminate and they will get big. Squash and zucchini have tons of flowers, all male flowers still, and I've been plucking them off. I've definitely been plucking them off. I want to encourage the plant to reproduce and set some fruits. Yep, that's what's going on with the squash, but I'm going to continue. Like, oh my goodness, look at all the blossoms on these plants. I'm going to continue to pluck them off until they give me some females. But if you enjoyed the video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos. I have a couple of upcoming videos. I have 2-Minute Tuesdays, and I have mushrooms, a video on mushrooms, friend or foe. So, hope you guys have a great day, and until next time, the more you know, the more you grow. Ike, say hi.